This is a short video to demonstrate how our webpage would look like in the real world. First of all, the name of our webpage is called HEDIS Quality Management Database. It asks user to input their username and password. First, we enter the wrong information to see what would happen. If I type in the wrong username and password, hit submit, a wrong information would pop out at the top and ask you to log in again. For our next page, we have two versions. One is the administrator version, which means an administrator could update and check other providers' information. And the other version is called provider view, which means a provider could only update and check their own information. So let's first start with the administrator view. If we enter in the username and the password for the administrator, hit submit, the second page would pop out. It says welcome staff number, the administrator staff ID. You can do two things. You can either check HEDIS records using HEDIS CPT code, or you can submit patient's name and procedure information you would like to update. We can start with the check. If I say I want to check patient's Michelle's information, I enter in patient's first name, last name, the CPT information I would like to check. In our case, 99213 means glaucoma screening. We hit check button, and two lines of records would pop out. Since this is the version for the administrator, we can see the staff ID here. And there are two lines of information. One test is done by staff ID number 33333, and the other is done by the administrator themselves. And from the date, the administrator could tell if it is time for the patient to do second screening or not. Let's then do the update. So to update patient's information, I first need to enter patient's first name, last name, procedure type, in our case glaucoma screening, the ICD-10 code for the procedure type, patient's ID, in our case 25258, which appears down here. And for administrator, they need to enter in the staff ID number because they can also update information for other providers. Let's say they just want to update information for themselves. If we hit update button, it will say patient's data has been updated. And if we would like to check again whether it works or not, we can do so by doing the check again. Using the same information, hit check, and we can see instead of two lines of codes, we can see three lines of information appear down here. And the 2014-12021 is the information you have just entered in. And we can go back and do the provider view. So for a provider, they need to also enter their username and password. Hit submit. You can see that it also can do check and update. And here is the provider's staff ID. To check a patient's information, I type in patient's name using the same information I did before. Hit check. Instead of three lines of information, we can only see one line because this is the only test that has done by this provider. And also this provider could update the information for himself. Say like we want to update the information for the same patient and for the same test. Say patient ID equals 25258. For a provider, they do not need to enter their staff ID because they can only update information for him or her own. Hit update, and patient's data has been updated. It says unable to find result data with the information provided above because you haven't put in any information in the check table. So this is a very simple version of what we want to do in the future. Based on this simple version of website, we can build more portals for more departments and let multiple departments update patients' information and let them jointly work together.